Assalamu alaikum everyone on my YouTube channel. A warm welcome to everyone. Assalamu alaikum everyone on my YouTube channel. A warm welcome to everyone. Today we will discuss about a fascinating hormone. I think it's not that fascinating, it's just a hormone and its function and how can we have that balance in it. It is usually called as a stress hormone. So as we are exploring over here, join me in this video to learn about cortisol, how it is affecting your life and our life, and how can we cope up with the situation where we are having high level of cortisol. So let's together find out what's cortisol and how it works. So when you are having cortisol in your body, you're more likely to have that urge to eat the sweets. So most of the time, many people that have this like feeling to eat the sweet only because when they are experiencing too much of a stress. So always remember, whenever you feel like having the urge to eat a lot of sweets, it's just your body coping mechanisms to fill your body with more glucose. Just because of the cortisol in your body, your glucose level also increases just for the purpose to use the brain more glucose to make you feel good. How fascinating is it? So cortisol is hormone is basically to make you feel like at that moment your substances also releases which are basically used for your tissue repairs at that moment of time when you are having this stress. So these things are correlated with each other. Cortisol is important, but not that too much, because when you are having cortisol for a very long period of time, means when you are having a stress for a very longer period of time, it more likely end up having diabetes, lots of related with your like increased level of glucose for a longer period of time, more likely to trigger the diabetes and so many heart diseases and so on. You can assume it like that. It's necessary in our life to reduce the stress, to make our lifestyle good. So here in the third segment, we'll talk about how can we reduce it and use our time just like moderate exercises and doing something else like having or developing a hobby or something like that. We can actually have this feeling of serenity in us to reduce those all stress. Because of that cortisol is not good for your body. It's just a moment of time your body was coping up with that, but too long of cortisol can really be fatal. So let's explore it together. How can we reduce our cortisol level so that we can live a healthier and better life? We were talking about how cortisol affecting our life. So here we are. We were talking about how cortisol affecting our lifestyle and our bodies and how can we cope up with that. So in this segment, we will talk about how can we cope up with the cortisol level. So what happens is that when you are stressed, cortisol released in your bloodstream. Cortisol is a hormone and also known as a stress hormone. So when you are very overstressed, you're more likely to having cortisol level high. But too much of cortisol for a longer period of time, more likely to cause a lot of diseases, more likely to cause a lots of health issues. So that's why we have to reduce it, right? So that's why we have to develop some coping method. Just like it is the body coping method to fight with the stress. And what happens is that those people who are having so much of anxiety, more likely to have cortisol level high. So here we're going to discuss some of the tips that how can we reduce it. The number one tip that I'll be putting on the first list is to get a hobby, a lifestyle which should not be so stagnant. You have to move on your body, either by doing some hobbies or making your life busy. Not that type of busy that makes you more stressful, but something that you enjoy as a lot, like walking on grass or feeling the good environment or doing something that makes you feel happy, so that other hormones also can introduce into your body. Like when you are having cortisol, your serotonin level depleted. If you are having a lifestyle, if you are having a good habit to do something physically, like walking, moderate exercise, so on, stagnant lifestyle where you think a lot, cause a lot of problem, only that is the only one reason that we are having so much of cortisol level. So if you are having that type of cortisol level in your life, means you are overburdened and stressed all the time, you have to take medication. But if you are having such like off and on having such kind of cortisol level, you can have it done it or tackle it like in this way, that to adapt a lifestyle. The only one advice or the top list first that I would rather be advising you to have a lifestyle, to be always busy, but in a good way. Not too much of busyness is a trauma response. Means to have a life, to enjoy, break, sleep, eat, repeat, and be with good people. And have such kind of people who really appreciate you, love you, and make your life beautiful. Life is simple, but you have to put a lot of efforts, not too much, so that you can be stressed, so that cortisol level get high. It's not like that. Means to reduce your stress to the level where you have nothing to worry. Means you can worry, but in a moderate way, not too much, so that it can lead to. So we were discussing about cortisol level, and here we are at the end of the video. So if you like the video, please do subscribe and like my channel videos, and learn something new and be with good people, so that you can feel good, because so many research